from what I can see on a quick search, doesn't seem to be much information on changing the VVT seal on NC Mazda 2 litre. So I think these are the same as the Ford, well, it's the Ford Duratec, so the same as the Focus and stuff like that. And I am going to have to compete with the bird in the background. It's not mine. Okay, so yeah, I thought I'd do a how-to, even though I don't know how to, but I will once I get through it. But it seems to be fairly simple. I've got the valve cover gasket as well, so pull the plug leads out, the cam sensor, VVT solenoid, and work around taking out these look like 10mm bolts holding the valve cover down. And then I'll give it a good clean up and see about getting this old seal out. What's happened with this seal? It's lifted. So at high RPM it's spraying oil everywhere. And I've just done an oil change, so I don't want to be losing all that expensive oil. It's all up on the bonnet here and everywhere, so not ideal. That is the new seal. It's hard actually, soft down there and soft, it's not even soft at the top. It looks different to this, but it's just kind of soft all over. I do hope it's the same one. Right, nothing really too noteworthy. These bolts actually stay with the valve cover. There's a little bracket on the back that I probably won't be putting back. But yeah, I think that's ready to come off. I haven't taken this off of here yet because it's actually glued on. We had that broken clips on it at the circuit, so we glued it in place. It feels quite firm. It does feel quite firm. It's not like just sitting on there, it is stuck down. So I don't know whether to maybe get a little plastic hammer. Right, a bit of one-handedness here, but I really don't like whacking plastic. It has a tendency to go brittle. Don't like this at all. The tone has changed. There's no way of whacking it on the back, so I think now it's try and lever it somehow. So literally managed just to get that under there and just lever it up. Yeah, it's going. That's going now. Okay, can lift that off now. Hopefully. I did actually order a new one of these, but I got a PC valve instead. That seal is, I think, well and truly shot. Shouldn't be anything holding it. Gonna have to use two hands to put the camera down. Alright, that should be loose now. There we go. Right, I'm gonna give this a wash as well. The gasket stayed with the rocker cover, with the cam cover, whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna leave it up against here. I don't want to get any grit on that surface. Okay, that seal literally just pulls off. It's that way up, which is that way up, and they look fairly similar. Oh, is that easy? Oh wow, I don't have to drive it out or anything. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay. Clean inside, nice and clean. I'll just tie dip around these edges here with some, I don't know, maybe I've got some part cleaner in this aerosol, so I'll spray that on a rag and just clean backwards so the crap doesn't drop in. And I'm going to wash up the valve cover, cam cover. So ignore what I said about using tissue. Actually use a cloth, squirt the solvent onto the cloth and then rub and clean accordingly. Well, I've just found some silicone, I think, residue here, and I want to make sure that doesn't go in the engine. So I'm just going to, and there is some poking down onto the inside of that surface there and here, so I'm just going to get something to pick that out with. Just be careful not to get it down inside. It wouldn't really hurt it, but why get it in there if you can avoid it. The other note to make is that, I mean, this is just a parts and chain cleaner that we use for the bikes, but it's really good at you know, cleaning oil and whatnot. We need to keep solvents away from the rubber seals. I've seen it on brakes where people pull the you know, the pistons out and they give them a good clean with brake cleaner or other solvent, and the edges just all like frilly up or foil up because they're just not suitable to be in contact with that type of solvent. So just a note to be careful, don't clean your rubber bits down with it. Right, well, time to backtrack again. I've just gone in there with a little pick, and it turns out that silicone, or that sealant, whether it's silicone or not, I don't know, that sealant is actually for the front cover, and it's just oozed out there a bit. So we'll just take it off the top surface here, and anything down the side there we leave well alone. Alright, so all those surfaces now are all clean, and even through the middle here. The last thing to do is just to make sure the solenoid itself is clean. That's obviously been leaking and whatnot. That should do it. Okay, so I'm going to clean up the old cam cover now. So I noticed something when I pulled the leads out. I thought, well, I'll look at that before I put it back together again. Well, it's time to look at that. And here's what I noticed. And I thought the lead had broken. I thought, that's a bit odd, it's all pulled out. And then I stuck my head down the plug hole. And I'm not talking about the kitchen sink plug hole, I'm talking about this plug hole. And it appears I pulled the electrode out, because it's supposed to look like that. And it don't, it looks like that. So, I'm just about to pull the plug out, get the spec and size off them, and go and buy some new plugs. Amazing, eh? I'm lucky. You've got tiny little misfires sometimes. You can just hear it sometimes ticking over, just the occasional bump, bump. But it doesn't really seem to manifest into any problem when you were nailing it. The old Fomoco plugs. You can see some leaking going on. Probably well overdue a plug change. Well, I don't know what Denso plugs are really like, but they're iridium. And they're what? I don't know. Nearly 10 quid each. Certainly going to be better than those. Don't whack these in. So just a tip here for, I don't know, some of these plug sockets don't grip the plugs anymore. So just put a little bit of tape on there, so that when we do invert them they don't drop out and then smack the electrode. Right, what I suggest is that you get the new gasket and you check it against the rocker cover, the cam cover, and the old gasket before you take the old one out, because if it's wrong you're knackered. You've got two little like things here, one there and one there, and that's where the join is on the cam chain cover. So that'll help you line it up, but obviously you can get it inside out, back to front, but just check it. It took me a few minutes to work it out. And these ones go in here somehow. Yeah, no, that one goes in there. That one's half out already. And then this one's got the little thing in there for the hole that goes in there, and that one goes in there. So we've got them all. Goodo. So I'll clean that up, pull the old seal out, put the new seal in and whack it on. Right, so the gaskets are in, and this is the all important bit. Now, looking at the design of it, there's no way this job can be done without removing the valve cover, the cam cover, purely because it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. That literally just drops in there and just pops in. There is no banging or interference or whatever. I mean, yesterday I was trying to push the seal back down because it all popped up, and the reason why it's popped up is because it's swollen. It's obviously had some trauma. Whether the valve cover's been off, I don't think it has, or it's just had some chemical attack it didn't like. Anyway, because now slip that on and bolt it all up. You can see the difference on this now. I mean, that seal is right down there and all distorted. So, I mean, it almost looks like a different part, all swollen and whatnot, but this fits. I mean, I'll be amazed if that does leak oil. Now, doing a bolt up, you could use like an impact gun or something, 400 Newton meters if you like, but it really doesn't need anything like that. I like to assemble with hand tools, because then if you get any, this is one-handed, it's not biting yet, if you get any thread issues, you can feel them straight away. If you're wanging them in there with an electric ratchet or an air gun, or even like I said, an impact gun, then you're never going to feel anything. And for the time it takes, it's well worth just getting them in there with an even torque as well. Bring them down all at the same level. So just like go around them all. I mean, I should really be going across the other end as well, just touching there. And then I'll go over the other end here, do the same, and just get that so it touches. Bit difficult, not difficult, awkward with one hand and greasy fingers, but you get the idea. Let's bring them all down, and then I'll go around them and I'll just torque them up like a bit like a cylinder head, because that new seal has got to be compressed. Alright, I'm sure you get the idea. Anyway, none of those are cross threaded or jump to thread or are tight. So, nearly done, I think. Sort out this plug lead, pull that electrode out of there, and we should be good to go. I think that's probably it for the video. That bird is really getting on my nerves. I hope you can hear me over it. Shut it! Of course, you can probably get away without doing the gasket change, but I got mine because I didn't know the condition of the gasket. Obviously I did the plugs because I didn't know the condition of those, and we found a broken one. I've done this video really to show people how easy it is. It's not a difficult job. I didn't know that when I started, but if you watch the video, I'm not proving, you know, oh wow, look, master mechanic changing a seal. Is actually to encourage you that it's not difficult and you can do it very easily yourself. Just take your time, be clean, and work through it. Alright, well, thanks for watching. If you want to see any more, give us a subscribe. If you haven't given us a like or a thumbs up, give us one of them too. Cheers for now. Bye.